Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Gura Bhakta
Jaya Gura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Gura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Chandra Jaya Gura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya
Shri Panchatatra ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
So today we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 9, verse 52 and 53. On 52 there is no purport, but it's an ecstatic verse about Sankirtan movement. So we might be fired up after that. Be ready. So 9:52. First 52. It's almost the end of this chapter of the desire tree of devotional service. I will just read alone the Sanskrit, the Bengali, and then the translation, and then we can read together the verse, which is in bold. Sarva loke mata kaila apana samana preme mata loka vina nahi deki ana. Translation: with his Sankirtan movement, the Lord made everyone mad like himself. We do not find anyone who was not intoxicated by his Sankirtana movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Verse 53. That's over. The class is over.
Kirtan now.
Now Kirtan and street. Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala. Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala. Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bhala bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
যে যে পূর্বে নিন্দা কইল বলি মাতোয়ালা
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
সেহ ফল খায়া নাচে বলি ভালা ভালা
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala. Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala. Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala. Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala. Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Ye ye purve ninda kaila balima toyala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala.
Seho falakaya nache bale bhala bhala. Ye purve ninda kailo bhale mato yala.
Ye purve ninda kaila bali mato yala.
Seho pala kayo nache bhale bala bala.
Seho pala kaya nache bali bala bala.
Would you like to try?
Ye purve ninda kaila bali mato yala.
Ye purve ninda kaila bali mato yala.
Seho pala kaya nache bale bala bala.
Seho pala kaya nache bali bala bala.
Everyone did, I guess. Ye. Persons who. Purve. Before. Ninda. Blasphemy. Kaila. Made. Bali. Saying. Matoyala. Drunkard. Seho. Such persons. Fala. Fruits. Kaya. Takes. Nache. Dance. Bale. Say. Bhala. Very good.
Very good.
Translation. Yes, if you like. Persons who had formerly criticized Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, calling him a drunkard, also ate the fruit and began to dance, saying, "Very good, very good."
Very good.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtana movement, even he was unnecessarily criticized by Mayavadis, atheists, and fools. Naturally, we are also criticized by such men. They will always remain and will always criticize anything that is actually good for human society. But the preachers of the Sankirtana movement should not be deterred by such criticism. Our method should be to convert such fools gradually by asking them to come and take prasadam and chant and dance with us. This should be our policy. Anyone who comes to join us, of course, must be sincere and serious regarding spiritual advancement in life. And then such a person, simply by joining us, chanting with us, dancing with us, and taking prasadam with us, will gradually also come to say that this movement is very good. But one who joins with an ulterior purpose to get material benefits or personal gratification will never be able to grasp the philosophy of this movement. Whew.
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tatati Swapadantikam Nandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakam Shri Guru Vaishnavancha Shri Yusam Sagadatam Saganadagunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Varijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Vadam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vitamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamadu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanu Sudevedi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Namo Vishnu
Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vashyatya Veshatayane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Kevalam,
Karunastiva Nastiva Nastiva Gatiranana.
Okay, two wonderful verses to glorify Lord Chaitanya and his Sankirtan movement. Many things to say, but we have to keep it short because we have some plans for today. And I lost all my structure in mind after we all sang these verses. I'm sorry for that. I felt intoxicated by your association. So yeah, this Sankirtan movement is definitely intoxicating. The proof is that we're all here and trying to bring everyone to this devotional path of Krishna consciousness by hook or by crook. And it's always blissful to see how in Harinam many people get in contact with the Krishna consciousness through chanting, dancing, and or prasadam. That's why these three ingredients are very important when there is a Harinam going on. And yeah, this makes it complete party if there are these ingredients of chanting, dancing, of course playing instruments, distributing prasadam. It makes it very, very nice. And you can see when there is one of these ingredients lacking, it's not the same. And it's very bright when you see like all these ingredients are present. You see like there is a big team of singers. There are some dancers who are catching the eyes of the passengers, and there is prasadam that is being able to be distributed before the book, during the book distribution, or after the book distribution. It's concluded. The person gets all the senses engaged and go with a very good samskara, because this is our point when we are going in the streets. It's to give everyone a good impression of this movement. They might not take a boot right now. They might not take up to this mission right now, but if at least they have a good thing, next time when they will meet devotees, oh, remember them. Last time they gave me a cookie, or they were so smiley with me, they were kind. I was harsh with them. I was ignoring them. I was passing by, but they looked very strange. And yeah, this is it. We should give a good impression with whatever we can. And this is the real mercy of Lord Chaitanya, to give everyone this opportunity to get intoxicated positively with this Sankirtan mission. And it's quite interesting because what is referred to in the verse 53 is, of course, with the Mayavadis that were instructed after by Lord Chaitanya. They were led by Prakashananda Saraswati, and they were criticizing Lord Chaitanya. When he was in Benares, they criticized him because in the sannyasa order for this impersonalists, they consider that you should not chant, you should not dance, you should not play instruments. And here we see like there is a bit of contradiction appearing. But the real thing is that they are supposed, these sannyasis are supposed to focus on the Vedanta studying. And so they were asking to Lord Chaitanya, but you took from Keshava Bharati our line, you know, and you are not studying the Vedanta. You are just chanting, dancing, chanting this Maha Mantra. What is that? What are you doing? You're supposed to study. You are supposed to do this austerity of studying the Vedanta Sutra. And then the discussion went on, a very interesting one, to understand how also Lord Chaitanya is showing us the path as a perfect devotee, how to preach to impersonalists. And first of all, Lord Chaitanya was very humble. First of all, he heard the criticism. It was not direct criticism towards him. He was reported that these minorities, they were considering him emotional or sentimental. And this is also a very important point because if we try to imitate this level, yes, I am dancing, chanting in ecstasy in the street, I'm rolling on the floor in the Sunday program in front of everyone. This is not the same type of ecstasy. And it doesn't bring the same fruit. And it's not that transcendental. It would rather be called Sahaja. But Lord Chaitanya, having received his holy name, chanting from his spiritual master, could not do otherwise. He was wondering himself, what is this? You know, showing also again the path of Krishna consciousness that happens only and solely through the Guru Parampara. Without the Guru Parampara, passing from Krishna to dear Srila Prabhupada and his disciples or his dedicated servants, we cannot succeed in this process of Krishna consciousness. Because when the spiritual master gave the Nam Diksha, it doesn't only give the repetition how to pronounce it, but he gives also his heart, his realization with it, and the spiritual potency that is connecting us with this transcendental knowledge. And what happens? They criticize him, and Lord Chaitanya smiles. In teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we can read that the Lord smiled and he went to Mathura and Vrindavan. And when he came back, on the way back to Benares, he stopped by the house of Chandrachekhar. And Chandrachekhar was considered, due to his profession, being, say, commis in French. How do you say in English? Commis. Like servant, I guess. But I don't know what is
Law
the...
servant.
Yeah. Anyway, he was considered a Shudra, and it is considered that a sannyasi is not supposed to sleep in Shudra's house, but only and solely in the Brahmana's house. So again, he was also excited for that. And in this meantime, he was getting the, Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra, who is the father of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, they heard about this criticism and they were very disappointed with that. They were very unhappy. And they were begging the Lord to go and talk with them. They wanted the Lord to go and talk with them because it was unbearable for them. For Lord Chaitanya, he's so magnanimous, he would not take an offense. But his devotees, maybe, Lord Krishna, our own spiritual master, sometimes will not take an offense, but we will take offense for him, and we will try to defend him, isn't it? Yeah. And we will try to prevent devotees to offend him, or non-devotees, whomever. We try to protect him. And in the same way, they wanted the Lord to say something against this. And it's an important aspect also, how to protect this transcendental knowledge, to protect our spiritual master, to protect Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and to not let it go. It can be sometimes more practical, or let's say with the time constraints. Okay, I don't have time to deal with it now, so let it go. But actually, it can start to give a very bad root in your heart if you don't deal with any offense towards the spiritual master, towards Srila Prabhupada, Sri Krishna directly. Still, we have to find the good words to deal with it, but to cannot accept it, cannot tolerate it. It will not be favorable for our spiritual master, for ourselves. So we have to be aware of that. And Lord Chaitanya, after being requested by Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra, decided to go and discuss with them. And here starts a very instructing pastime where the Lord goes in this assembly and they were in a circle. The Lord accepted the invitation from a Brahmana who knew that there was a gathering with all the sannyasi, Mayavad sannyasi on the Prakashananda Saraswati. And only Lord Chaitanya was not present because he didn't want to associate with them. But on the request of his devotees, he went. And he first entered the room, offered his prostrated obeisances out of etiquette and respect for all these Vaishnavas. So this is one lesson for us, humility. Srimadapi Sunichana, isn't it? It's like you bow down to them, you respect, with sincere heart, respect everyone. They might not understand who is Krishna, what is Krishna, but if you look at it, the Vrajavasis, they don't know exactly what is Krishna. They don't know, Krishna is Vishnu. When Vishnu Murti appeared in front of the gopis, they were like, namaskar. And they went on, where is Krishna? They are not attached to Krishna because he's God. They are attached to God because he is Krishna. It's more the reverse side, They are attached to the personality. They might not know everything Tadvik about him, but still they are attached to him. And Srila Rupa Goswami says in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that somehow or other we have to get attached to Krishna. That's why this Sankirtan movement is so wonderful, because it gives an opportunity to be somehow or other with any of these means that we talked about, and there are many other means, but these are the most obvious ones and that we can practice daily. And so, this is the wonderful mercy present in this Sankirtan movement to connect everyone. Rupa Goswami says, Yena tena prakarena mana Krishne niveshayet. So this somehow or other, and to connect it with this Sankirtan mission, you might not, as I said earlier, be able to distribute the books because people are not ready. But then they will hear the holy name. They can join the dancing. We saw yesterday in Hotel de Ville that at some point like 15 young people just joined with the dancers during the kirtan of Bhishmadev Prabhu, isn't it? Yeah. And we're dancing, They are already in. Now, what happens? They are intoxicated. And, like in any intoxication, first you take the drug, you take the alcohol, and then you have to wait a little, right? And then you become intoxicated the time it goes to your brain and in your blood and everywhere. With the Sankirtan mission, it might be a little longer to wait to get intoxicated, but it will come. It's a matter of time, because Chaitanya Charitamrita says, we do not find anyone who was not intoxicated by his Sankirtan movement. So, let's be a little patient and try to facilitate it by reminding about Krishna, by connecting them to the devotees, bringing them some knowledge, some prasadam. This is the third weapon. When you cannot distribute the books, engaging in hearing or chanting or dancing, then cookies are always present. And yeah, it should go along book distribution and prasadam distribution. But I read from this nectar of book distribution, I think the name was Chakshu Das, who was mentioning that. No, it was another person. And he mentioned that himself he tried to distribute both books and cookies, but it didn't work. So he understood after that it's better to focus either on books, either on cookies. You cannot both at the same time. It's difficult. And himself he decided to focus on books, and then cookies were distributed by someone else. That's why it's a team effort. And everyone is important in the Sankirtan mission. You might be directly in the streets or not directly in the streets, but you are participating. You know, some devotees here don't go in the streets, but they might be probably one of the best book distributors, by being in the temple. Janan Maharaj used to share this story of a pujari in India who is was one of the biggest book distributor, just by being on the altar and engaging everyone to give some donation on the temple, on the altar for some worship, and then they got a book. So every day he was collecting the money, giving a book to the people who came for darshan. And so at the end of the day, if you count so many hours, you distribute some books every time. It goes very fast. So everyone in any condition can participate to this Sankirtan mission. If you are cooking these cookies that will be distributed, you are part of it. And what is the name of this senior devotee? Narendra? Navina? Navinira.
Book distribution minister, right?
Yeah.
Third.
Yes. And he was explaining that we are all part of this Sankirtan mission. From the moment we follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada, we are all part of it. So deity worship, addressing the deity is also part of it. Because when you are addressing the deities, you are doing it for the sake of preaching, for inspiring the devotees who are fired up in Guru Puja after the deity darshan. It brings this fire, this spark that we all need to reconnect with Krishna and then to share this spark. I also read back then that washing the feet of the Lord can be done directly like this. Take this handkerchief and wash the feet of the Lord. This is one thing. But it is also considered that book distributing books, is also washing the Lord's feet. So definitely deity worship and book distribution are connected. And if you remember Maharaj sharing it recently, that on the logo of Gaudiya Math, there is Bhagavata Marg, Pancharatrika Marg, and on the left side, this is deity worship going. And on the right side, the Bhagavata Marg, there is book distribution, there is the printing press on it. So these go along. Both should be present so that we are successful in this mission. Doesn't mean that everyone has to do and deity worship and book distribution at the same time or during the day, but this should go collectively. Like we are living in the temple, we should ensure that the deities are pleased and that the book distribution, the Harinam Sankirtan is going on as well. This is very crucial because both go hand in hand, and through deity worship, we get to the habit of sattva, because we have to wake up early to sing in front of the deities. Then we have to be regulated in time. And so far it goes, the further we get purified. And we know that the strength in preaching is purity. So the further we are purified, the further we can go through the layers of tamas, first in ourselves, but also in the heart of others, by just passing by these teachings to others. The purer we are, then the easier the message will go and touch the heart of people. So that's why Srila Prabhupada gave us this morning program that we're all together all together chanting, dancing, hearing Krishna Katha is purifying and also bringing some harmony all together. If we are all together around these angas of devotional service, then we become, powerful individually and collectively. And when there is harmony, there is a good team spirit, and we complete each other. Sometimes we can have this tendency, I will do this, and I will manage this. I will manage this amount of books today. But it is good to have goals, but we should target for collective goals. We should be successful together, not individually. Together we should be successful. So how can I help? If, we know that someone in the group is very good book distributor, how can I serve him that he can have free time to distribute more books? Okay, to my level, I can do this and do that to help him. This can be the team spirit. This is just a simple example, but this is the mood we should have. Cooperation is the basis to be successful, both in Prabhupada mission, like to make it happen, to distribute these books to the fallen souls and to bring them back to Krishna. But most also pleasingly for Prabhupada is to see that we are together in good relationships. Because in a temple, if we are all doing our Paka sadhana, but we don't have relationship between each other, what is the point? There is point, indeed, because our sadhana will purify and make us realize that, okay, I'm a devotee, I should associate sadhu sangha. But what is this association with sadhu? What it means? This we have to learn and to follow the example. That's why morning program is so important to be together. And this is the key to prepare ourselves for then going to the battlefield and preach the Sankirtan mission efficiently. So we cannot manage anything without relationship, and it is of course valid in the material field. Cannot be successful if you are alone, or it might be very austere, take a long time. And anyway, the fruit are not very long term. But it's even more important in the spiritual life because we don't know anything about spiritual world, about who is Krishna, about even who is Srila Prabhupada. We learn to some extent, but we don't realize the depth of his devotion for Krishna. And together, we should be together to make it happen, to make Srila Prabhupada smile and dance. It's when we see this video of Prabhupada in the Ratha Yatra, just putting the arms up. Don't you want to also put the arms up? It's like you want to please him and to be in the same, to bring him this. And by cooperation, this is how we can show our love for Prabhupada. And I'm sure you all know this, this quote that he said, you will show your love for me by cooperating. So here we are, and when Lord Chaitanya, sorry if I made a big parenthesis with Srila Prabhupada, but it's obvious that it happens because he's a fervent follower of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, so bow down to this crew of Mayavadi sannyasis, and they were inquiring from him. So, you are dancing, chanting this Maha Mantra, doesn't fit with your sannyasi position. You should study the Vedanta. Why are you not following this? Your behavior doesn't fit with your position. Can you explain what happens? And before that, after offering obeisance, I forgot to mention that he went to wash his feet and to stay nearby this place where we wash the feet. And they invited him, please, don't stay here, it's an impure place. And he said, I am a low class sannyasi. I was, you know, I'm not at your level. I cannot do like you, but still they invited him, and when he was sitting in the middle, some glowing effulgence emanating from his body, you know, when he was in the middle of the assembly. And they were all astonished. What? Who is this person? And immediately they all went up, they stood up, you know, out of a sign of respect for him. So this is one element, you know. We see devotees like we are shining, you know. If we look at it, and some people in the street sometimes say, "Wow, you are so shining, you know, you look so happy, so shiny. What is this?" You know, we might not realize it, but Lord Chaitanya is present, and he's enlightening all this Sankirtan party, and it has an impact on people. They see. We might not be able to explain it to grasp it, but it is happening. They feel there is something different, even if sometimes we don't speak it. Still, it's visible, even for non-believers. So what to say of those who start to inquire about spiritual life? And after that, Lord Chaitanya simply repeated the word of his spiritual master and explained, "Oh, you know, my spiritual master told me that I was not qualified to study the Vedanta. He just, out of his great compassion, told me to chant this Mahamantra Hare Krishna. I just became mad. So I'm trying to follow the instruction of my spiritual master and incessantly chant his holy name." And then he was giving them, you know, the purport of the holy name chanting. And after time, they became convinced. But humility, Trinadapi Sunichana, is our entrance key to reach the heart of people. If we become puffed up, but why you are not following our path? You know, you are losing your time doing your nonsense activities. If you try this in France, you may have some problems. Definitely. It may work in other countries, but I don't have experience of other countries. But in France, it will be very difficult. And we have to understand the preacher who is following Srila Prabhupada's footsteps should know how to approach people, how to preach to them, what are they able to accept. This is the best we can do, to meditate on what can I give the best to this person. Okay, maybe not the Mahamantra, maybe not the books. Okay, let's try a cookie. This is it. This person can accept a cookie, okay. This person, let's try to make him repeat the name just Krishna. Do you know about Krishna? And sometimes the people say, Krishna? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Krishna, you know, God. God. No, I don't believe in God, sorry. No problem, you repeated Krishna, that's fine. Just wait a little to become intoxicated. It will come one day or another. So this is our mission, to understand as a preacher what we can give to people. Not only newcomers, we can adapt it also for people who come regularly in the temple, who wants to start the spiritual journey. They become serious. We have to meditate how to cultivate them, means what can I give them at a further step? You know, they might not be able, you know, to start 16 rounds from day 2, or for week 2, for month 3. So we have to be meditating on that. What to bring them? What is their next step? And this is the qualification of a preacher. And we don't know about this, but we can inquire from those who know and work cooperatively. Also, humility means we might not be able to give this next step nicely to this person, but this was a Prabhu. I noticed that they are going nice together. Okay, I gave him the book, I was the first one to preach him, but this Prabhu, they have a good connection. Okay, let's inspire him to preach him, to give him the next step. This is also the team effort in the terms of cultivation. So, time passes. I didn't share probably half of what I wanted to share. but it's important to keep time and to give and to open up for some questions. I would be glad to hear any realization you have, any comment, correction, please. Yes, Mario Prabhu.
Thank you, sir. I have a question for you, Jiva Prabhu. In the purport, Prabhupada was saying that this, also in the verse we can understand in this Sankirtan Sankirtan movement is so powerful that anyway it purifies anyone. Also you were mentioning, and also and Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that one who enters without a pure motive of growing spiritually will never grasp the philosophy.
Sure.
But sometimes it may happen also that during the process some impurities in the intention, in the motivation can arise in the heart. So, and we know that the mantra in the process is pure and is purifying and is bringing us to Krishna. But sometimes you can see that the result is not always that. I mean, that someone may change mindset or why, or maybe, I don't know, not achieving the results that maybe we see in the certain devotees or practicing in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what's the difference and how to actually follow the path of the real purification, the real path, instead of something that is not, somehow or other is not really purifying the heart. Although it's still chanting Hare Krishna and taking prasadam. So what's the difference?
Why some devotees who are following are going in the wrong direction? Sometimes they go out of the path. They just plumb.
Although they are doing it the same, chanting Hare Krishna.
So what happens?
Taking prasadam.
So first of all, as you mentioned, and thank you for opening this second part of what I wanted to share. Why some people don't grasp this philosophy, even though they are practicing for some time, so they are trying, they're chanting, they're taking prasadam. Why so? And how to understand this appear like a seemingly contradiction of but sometimes we don't come with clear motive. Actually, we never come with clear motive to Krishna consciousness. Not clear, but out of, oh Krishna, I want to surrender to you. No, we come with material motive. Bhagavad Gita says there are 4 types of pious men who comes to Krishna consciousness. And we all come with material motive. And by following the proper guidance, the spiritual master, and applying seriously these instructions, then we can, during the process, get rid of this material motive, initial one. This is the point. Otherwise, we can indeed never grasp fully this philosophy and get somehow attached to Krishna. So, how this is happening is by following the instructions of the spiritual master, applying them faithfully and sticking to them. So this is one aspect of the answer. One story that illustrates perfectly this changing of the motive is Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj was rejected by his father, who was handpicked by his first wife to not accept the son of his second wife on the lap, then Dhruva Maharaj was this boy not accepted on the lap of his father, developed a desire to get some great opulence, because he thought that by getting a higher kingdom, then he will get in the this lap or the next, this position and this legitimacy to be on the lap of his father. But with this motive, his mom told him, you can go and find Vishnu in the forest and inquire how to get this this desire you have, and in the next life get this opulence that will bring you what you desire for. But during the process, when he went to the forest, 5 years old, he was 5 years old, and all of this happened within 6 months. In the very beginning, he met by the great mercy of Krishna, Narada Muni, who instructed him. And we know that Narada Muni is, just the embodiment of Bhakti Shakti. So Narada Muni gave him instruction, which he followed, and within 6 months of meditation, he had a direct darshan of the Lord, first within his mind, but then directly to his visual eyes in front. And when he saw the Lord, all his material desires disappeared, and he understood that whatever I was desiring, all the opulence I wanted, I don't desire anymore, because I'm fully satisfied with the darshan. And this is what we hope for, to get rid of our material attachment. But still the Lord will fulfill them. He still gave to the Maharaj this opulence that he wanted, and there is Dhruva Loka, So he's definitely more opulent than was his father. But he became, such a devotee, and grasping and faithfully following the instruction of our spiritual master, our life and soul, trying to apply them. And then, even though you follow the path of Krishna consciousness, and it seems that you change your desires, now you have more spiritual desires, it seems that you uprooted your material desires, still you can come back to bad conditions. Why? Because association, so important. Association and offenses, which are connected. An example with association, you can think of Bharat Maharaj, who had having attained a high level. He was in the Bhava stage, and even though he was at this stage, still he fell from his position, but from his realization, because he was became attached to a deer at the end of his life. Why? Because he didn't have association, and that's why we should never feel secured being out of the association of devotees, and never think that, okay, now I reached this level, I don't need them. Even sometimes we can feel, oh, these devotees, they are younger, I need more advanced devotees. No, Krishna sends you exactly what you need. We should be satisfied with whatever Krishna is bringing us in this context, and try our best to practice seriously and to inspire others. And we need to understand how to behave with younger devotees, same level devotee and senior devotees to us. With each of them, there is an etiquette to respect, and etiquette is also very important to follow. Otherwise, we can fall into some traps and offend devotees, Vaishnavas. And this offense of Vaishnavas, the first offense, is very detrimental for our past. And I cannot quote all the stories, but you probably heard about Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni, who, offended that the only way to take out this offense before falling completely is to go and surrender to that devotee that you offended, or to those devotees whom you offended. And the Lord himself cannot protect you from this. That's why at some point you can see some devotees who were very faithfully, even more, stronger than you, and wow, they were learning shlokas, they were in so nice class, chanting, they were going to Harinam, boom, they fall. They became sannyasis, they became gurus, and they fall. Because we are never protected from these bad association and offenses. And the more we take responsibility, the higher is the penalty from our offenses. So we have to be very careful with that. And the root cause, and I will finish on that, sorry, but the root cause of all these offenses and Vaishnava Parad is attentive. That's what we say in the last, after reciting the 10 offenses, that it is also considered an offense to be inattentive. If you're inattentive, then all the remaining offenses, 10 offenses, can manifest consciously or unconsciously. This is what I had in mind. If any of the wonderful Vaishnavas here would like to conclude on this, please feel free. Yashmatina.
Yes, in this context, it comes to mind the story of Srila Prabhupada, whose life was a resemblance of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada went out into the world to spread the Harinam Sankirtan movement. But in the beginning of his days, when he was in his early 20s, his wish for the world was very much limited to India. It was very much limited to Gandhi's movement until Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati came. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gave him the intention, planted the seed in Srila Prabhupada's heart, and by that Srila Prabhupada could grow as that wonderful desire tree, fulfilling so many desires of all the fallen conditioned souls.
Chai. Okay, stop here. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sankirtan Yoga ki Jai.
This guy is Shiva Prabhu King. It's a wonderful class. Thank you so much. Out.